What's going on, guys? Full Guard MMA back with another video. UFC Fight Night, Brady versus Burns. The first fight of the night, we got Zigomatis Ramaska versus Nathan Fletcher. This fight is being contested at the featherweight division. Fletcher's moving up from bantamweight. Who you got in this matchup, E?
What it do, fellas? We got Lithuania's finest right here. I'm gonna have to go with Ramaska on this, man. I think he has more experience at featherweight. Nathan Fletcher's moving up from bantamweight. I think he's gonna be outsized, might even be outclassed. I think this is just a bad matchup for him coming up featherweight. I don't see how he gets this one done. I'm gonna go with Ramaskas on this one.
I'm gonna have to agree. I'm gonna also go with Ramaskas in this fight. He's 5'11". Fletcher's 5'7". Ramaska has the reach advantage as well. And we've seen Fletcher at 135 struggle with the taller 135ers. Ramaska's a tall 145er. I'm gonna have to go with Ramaska by TKO.
All
Moving
right.
on to the next matchup, Andrade Petroski versus Dylan Butka. This fight is being contested at the middleweight division. Petroski is a minus 280 favorite in this matchup. Who you got in this matchup, E?
Um, this one could actually go either way, man. Petroski's an iffy fighter. He is a more experienced, better grappler here. Butka is a pure kickboxer, does have better stand up, so this one could go either way. That being said, I'm gonna have to go with Petroski based on his experience, him being a better grappler, and if he's able to keep this fight, take it to the ground actually, and not keep it on the feet, I think Petroski gets this one done by decision.
Yeah, Petroski's 3-2 in his last five, but all five of those fights have been contested in the UFC under the UFC banner. Dylan Butka lost his first UFC fight against Cesar Almeida by finish. It's hard to go against Petroski in this matchup. I'm gonna have to go with Petroski. Also, he trains in Renzo Gracie in Philly. All the Renzo Gracie gyms, all those guys got good stand up. They all got good jitsu. I'm gonna have to go with Petroski by decision in this matchup. Moving on to the next matchup. Jacqueline Amor versus Vanessa Demopoulos in the women's strawweight division. Who you got in this matchup, E?
Man, if this was a beauty pageant, I'm gonna have to go with Vanessa Demopoulos. But since this is an MMA fight, I'm gonna have to go with Jacqueline Amor, former LFA light strawweight champion. You know what I'm saying? She got that experience. She's younger, better. She trains at American Top Team. I'm gonna have to go with Jacqueline on this one. Easy.
Yeah, Jacqueline's coming in on a two-fight win streak in the UFC, all by finish. Vanessa Demopoulos also on a two-fight win streak, but they're both decisions. Demopoulos tends to win decisions. All the her fights tend to be close, grimy, slow paced, and she tends to win those type of matchups. But Jacqueline is going to bring that pace to her. She's training an American Top Team. She has top tier fighters all around her. She's going to put that pace on Vanessa, and she'll probably finish her within the distance. She'll probably finish her in the first two rounds. The next matchup we have Gabriel Santos versus China's Xiao. Gabriel Santos is a minus 230 favorite in this matchup, being contested at the featherweight division. Who you got in this matchup, E?
Yo, you gotta be nice if you're known by one name, man. Yuja. I'm gonna go on the limb and say China's finest right here. Move aside the strawweight champion. I forget her name right now, but we'll move on. This fight, I'm gonna have to go with Gabe Santos, man. I think he has fought tougher competition. He debuted against Lerone Murphy, lost a split decision to Lerone Murphy. I think he got better experience, and I think he takes this one done. Yuja, kind of unknown. I don't know if that record is legit, but you know, stranger things have happened.
I'm gonna have to go with Gabriel Santos in this matchup, just simply off the fact that he fought Lerone Murphy to a split decision. One judge, even if it was crazy, thought he did enough to win that fight. Just by that fact alone, he was able to compete with Lerone Murphy on that fight. I'm gonna have to go with Gabriel Santos in this matchup. Yija's a relatively unknown fighter. He's not been on my radar whatsoever. I'm gonna have to go with Gabriel Santos for sure. Next matchup, we have Andrade Lima versus Felipe dos Santos. Shoot the box finest Felipe dos Santos. This fight is being contested at catch weight. Who you got in this matchup?
Yo, this could very well be the fight of the night right here. These guys are gonna go to war. I'm excited for this one. You know, this one's a hardcore favorite. I'm gonna have to go with Felipe dos Santos. I think he takes Andre Lima's. Oh, Lima is a dog. You know, he got bitten in the bicep. He got that shit tattooed. But I think he might lose his O with this one. Felipe, you know, these shoot box guys, man, they don't come to play. They don't come to even go to decision. So, you know, this one's gonna be a war. and I'm gonna have to go with Felipe dos Santos on this one.
Yeah, the odds on this. Firstly, I'd like to apologize. I said this fight's at catchweight. This fight's gonna be at flyweight. My apologies on that. And secondly, I don't know why Andre Lima's a slight favorite in this matchup. Felipe dos Santos in his debut fight, he fought Manel Cape to a decision. He lost the fight, but it was a competitive fight. Manel Cape is in the mix at the top of the flyweight division. I'm gonna have to go with Felipe dos Santos in this matchup. Shoot to box guys, they walk you down, they throw with heavy leather. If they take it to the ground, they're looking to finish. They're pursuing the submission. I'm gonna go with Felipe dos Santos in this matchup. Moving on to the next matchup. Minus 2,500 favorite Isaac Dulgarian versus Brandon Murat being contested in the featherweight division. Who you got in this matchup, E?
Yo, the fact that Isaac Dulgarian is a crazy favorite is wild.
Yeah.
That makes it hard to go against him, man. That makes it hard to go against him. Murat does not have that type of experience in the UFC. He did lose the first 20 seconds to freaking Terrence McKinney, which is has not aged well, but I'm gonna have to go with Isaac on this one. I'm gonna play safe. I think Isaac gets this one done. Better wrestler. Hard to go against him.
I think I'm seeing what Vegas is seeing. Low key, the fix is in. Brandon Murat's debut fight was at 155 pounds against Terrence McKinney. He got knocked out very fast. He's moving. He's cutting 10 extra pounds after a knockout loss, dropping down to 145 against Isaac Dulgarian. I'm gonna have to. It spells knockout. I'm going Isaac Dulgarian by knockout in this matchup. Moving on, OSP versus Ryan Spann. Ryan Spann is a minus 300 favorite over OSP. What do you think about that? E? That's crazy to me.
I mean, OSP is old as hell. So, you know what I'm saying? I can see why. I can see why. This one's an easy
41.
prediction. I'm gonna have to go with Ryan Superman Span on this one. I think he gets this one done. He might even finish him, bro. It might be a knockout. Unfortunately, I like OSP, but that's the name of the game.
Yeah, man. I'm gonna have to go with Ryan Spann first round knockout. 41 years old as a UFC fighter is crazy. In his last 5 fights, he only has 2 wins. Both of those victories are by split decision. So he's just somehow squeaking through, trying to keep his job in the UFC, trying to get these paychecks coming in. I'm going with Ryan Spann. Although Ryan Spann is on a 3-fight losing streak, I feel like this is a setup matchup to try to get the ball rolling for Ryan Spann again. Try to make his way through the rankings again. I'm going Ryan Spann by knockout. Next up, we have Rong Zhu versus Chris Padilla in the lightweight division. Who you got in this matchup, E?
Yo, I'm telling you, you gotta be nice if you're known by one name, bro. China's finest right here.
China's sending out these assassins.
I'm gonna have to go with Rong Zhu on this one, though. I think there's a reason why he's on the main card, why he's opening up the main card. I think he's young, he's hungry. You know, he got cut from the UFC before, so I think he has that extra motivation. And Padilla, he's been a pro since 2014, so he's also a vet. I'm gonna have to go with Rong Zhu on this one. I think he gets this one done.
I smell upset all over this fight. I'm going Chris Padilla by submission. Moving on to the next matchup, we have Trevor Peek versus Yanel Ashmus in the lightweight division. This is an even money fight. Who you got in this matchup?
Yo, Yanel Ashmuz, that's Ariel Helwani's favorite fighter. I mean, but the dude is powerful, man. Dude has knockout power at a crazy finish. Although he has taken some time off. I can't remember when his last fight was.
A year ago, he fought. His last fight was a decision loss to Chris Duncan, unanimous.
Yeah, and I actually predicted him to win that fight too. I'm surprised he did lose. That was his first L. He was undefeated before that. So I guess he took some time off. I think he's gonna come back. He's hungry. That being said, I'm gonna have to go with Trevor Peek though. I think too much of a long layoff after a unexpected L. I don't think that's a good recipe. So I'm gonna have to go with Trevor Peek. I think he gets this one done.
Yeah, shout out to Trevor Peek in this matchup. Shout out to the activity. His last fight was 4 months ago. He lost that fight and he's back at it again. His fight's even money. Trevor Peek is an absolute madman. He's throwing punches at you from all directions. He's throwing punches forward. He's throwing punches upwards. He's lunging in with punches. Trevor Peek is an absolute madman. I'm gonna have to go with him by decision in this match. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna go out even further on a limb and say he's winning this fight by knockout. Moving on to the next fight, we have flyweight veteran Matt Schnell versus Alessandro Costa. Who Who you got in his matchup? Surprisingly, Matt Schnell is a plus 380 underdog. This kid is minus 500 against Matt Schnell, a UFC top 15 mainstay for years. What do you think
Man,
of
that's because Alessandro Costa is him. He's like that. I think he's tough. I think he might even finish him, man. I think Matt Schnell's a little bit 34. He's nearing that danger zone. He's fighting a 28-year-old young, hungry Brazilian. Yeah, I think Costa even gets this finish, man.
Yeah, man, I'm gonna have to go Costa by submission or knockout. Matt Schnell in his last two fights has been brutally knocked. He got brutally knocked out by Steve Ercik. That left hook put him to sleep. And then before that, he got finished by Mateusz Nicolau. I'm gonna have to go with the big heavy favorite, Alexandre Costa. Although he is 2-2 in the UFC, his two losses is Amir Albazi and Steve Ercik. Which, like, to get those two guys in your first four UFC fights is crazy. He's 2-2 in the UFC. I think he's going to start to make a run towards the rankings now. I'm going with Costa in this matchup. Moving on. We have Canada's Kyle Nelson at the featherweight division versus Steve Garcia. Who you got in this matchup, E?
Man, this was actually a pretty even fight. I ain't gonna lie. But it's hard to go with the Canadians, man. These guys always disappoint you, man. These guys always disappoint
Big facts.
you, man.
Big facts. He is on the 3-fight win streak, though. Kyle Nelson.
I'm gonna keep it safe. I'm gonna have to go with Steve Garcia on this one. I think he's did he beat Chase Hooper? I think he beat Chase Hooper before. And if that is true,
Yes, he did. By finish.
he's tough, man. He's tough, I'm telling you. So yeah, I think I got Steve Garcia on this one.
Yeah, man. I'm going to have to also go with Steve Garcia. I don't think he'll get a finish. I think he'll get a decision victory, even though Steve Garcia in his last four fights, he has a KO over Chase Hooper, he has a KO over Shaylin Nardabach, he has a KO over Malakizal Costa, and he has a KO over Sung Woo Cho. He's on a 4-fight UFC KO streak. Kyle Nelson, he's coming off a KO victory over Bill Algeo. This is both guys throwing some heavy leather. I'm gonna have to go with Steve Garcia by KO. He's on a mission right now. 4 straight knockouts. I'm changing my opinion. I'm gonna have to go with Steve Garcia by knockout. I was thinking he was gonna win by decision, but just 4 straight knockouts in the UFC is tough to do. I'm gonna go with Steve
And
Garcia.
changing your opinion mid-vid. Okay.
I have to, man. I have to. I flipped aside. I folded under the pressure. It is what it
once
is.
this is done, that's it. It's set in stone.
It is what it is, man. I'm going Steve Garcia by knockout in this matchup. 4 knockouts in a row in the UFC. We don't see that often. I'm going with Steve. I'm gonna trust it. Steve Garcia by knockout. On to the most electric co-main of 2024. Jessica Andrade versus Natalia Silva. Natalia Silva is on an 11-fight win streak. It's a justified co-main for a fight night in the Apex. I'm just being a hater. Who you got in this matchup, E?
I'm gonna have to go with Natalia Silva on this one. She's a tough fighter. I think she's 5-0 in the UFC, I believe. And this fight, Andrade, she's fighting at flyweight. She's never been good at this division. She's cutting weight. She's a big girl, man. She's thick as hell. But she's a little bit on the older side. I think this one is a welcome party for Natalia Silva. I think she gets this one done, man. Easy win for her.
Yeah, man. I'm gonna have to go with Natalia in this matchup. She's gonna win. Most likely by decision. Most women's fights end up going to decision. I'm going Natalia Silva by decision in this matchup. Hard to go against an 11-fight win streak at the end of the day. It's a snooze fest. Nobody cares about this fight. I don't know why they keep doing this in the Apex. They put these trash cards, these trash co-mains, these trash main cards. It is what it is. We're still going to give you these predictions and breakdowns. I'm going with Natalia in this matchup that nobody gives a F about. But you know what somebody cares about? This main event. Absolutely electrifying grappler. Gilbert Burns versus power wrestler from the United States, Sean Brady. Who you got in this matchup?
Dorino. It's sad to see, man.
It's sad to
see. It's sad to see. This is actually a very bad matchup for him. He's fighting a wrestler, a heavy wrestler. I hate this, man. I'm a big Dorino fan. I hate to see him go. He's 38. And he's fighting a young, hungry Sean Brady, who did lose to the champ. You know what I'm saying? His only L is to the champ, which has aged well for him.
Dorino, I don't think he's washed. Look at his 2 last JDM and Bilal are monsters, bro. monsters at 170.
I know, but JDM did him dirty, man. JDM
He
did
was
him
schooling
dirty.
JDM. He was schooling
Bilal, he
JDM.
got hurt. He did get hurt in that fight, so he
Bilal, he
wasn't
got hurt and
100%.
he was schooling JDM till that finish. I know these are excuses, but like this is just my reasonings to say maybe he's not washed, but
It's
continue.
okay to cope, man. It's okay to cope. But Brady's 31, man. Dude is fucking on fire. He's a beast. I don't see how he does not get this done, man. I mean, to be honest with you, Gilbert Burns hasn't looked good since the Khamzat fight. Like that's the best he's looked recently, and that was probably his peak.
He looked phenomenal against Neil Magny. It was less than 2 years ago. He's
That was
schooling
quick
Neil.
though. That was quick. Yeah, it was quick. It was a quick fight. It was a quick fight. But a wrestler heavy against a jiu-jitsu guy, I think this is just a bad matchup, man. I think this might be a boring fight, actually. To be honest with you, this might be a little boring snooze fest. Decision victory for Sean, but I think he gets his done nonetheless.
Listen, man, I'm going with the upset in this matchup. Everybody's counting my boy Gilbert out. I'm going Gilbert by submission. You already know Sean Brady's pressure style. He's going to try to walk Gilbert down. Gilbert, that's the worst thing you could do against Gilbert. He got heavy hands and he got crazy submissions. If he doesn't catch him with the heavy hands and Sean Brady gets the takedowns, that's also Gilbert's. That's his main thing. ADCC world champion level jiu-jitsu. I see Gilbert Burns. There's no way this fight's not going to the ground, and if it does go to the ground, there's no way Gilbert Burns is gonna have to snatch a submission on this kid. I'm going Gilbert Burns by submission in this matchup. I know it's an upset pick, but if you just everyone thinks Gilbert's washed, but his last two JDM he was beaten the whole fight until the knee at the end. Bilal Muhammad he hurt his shoulder. Sean Brady didn't no injuries against Bilal Muhammad, fully healthy, got schooled against him, got finished TKO'd on the feet by Bilal. Bilal's the man. No shade. But I'm gonna have to go Gilbert Burns by submission.
Muito bom. Remember the name, fam. Remember the name.
Yeah, man, those are our picks for this fight night. Peace
Peace.
out.